Custom 40-ounce tumblers are blowing up on Etsy right now, like this one that sold almost 8,000 times in the first year, 4,000 sales. Even this simple listing that I launched myself sold 46 times in the first month. So in this video, I'm gonna do a complete walkthrough of how to sell custom 40-ounce tumblers on Etsy. We are gonna create the design on Canva. We're then gonna create the listing on Etsy for sale. We are gonna create the product on Inner Circle Prints for fulfillment. And then lastly, we're gonna create the template on HelloCustom to automate the personalization for when that product sells. But not to spoil an upcoming announcement, I do want to say that HelloCustom and Inner Circle Prints are working on an in-app integration. Here pretty soon, you'll be able to create Inner Circle Prints products inside of HelloCustom. That way, when you're creating your template, it automatically creates the product. And when an order comes in, it'll just come straight over to HelloCustom. When you click approve, we handle everything else, shaving off half the workload with selling personalized products with Inner Circle Prints and HelloCustom. All right, with that, let's go ahead and start the tutorial. So the first thing that we need to do is create our design. In this tutorial, I am going to be using Canva, where instead of starting with a custom size, I am going to go over to Inner Circle Prints and download the template for their 40-ounce tumbler. So I'm going to go over to Inner Circle Prints, where once signed into your Inner Circle Prints account, you can click onto Catalog, then click onto their 40-ounce tumbler. From here, scroll down, click onto number 2 to access their design templates, and click onto the template. From here, it's going to give you a Canva link where you can open up the template for the 40-ounce tumbler inside of your Canva account. Click onto View Template, where the way that this template works is this is the top view of the tumbler, this is the handle, and this is the top rim, where the graphic, which is this graphic, is going to wrap around the face of the tumbler. If you've ever designed a mug, it's going to work the exact same, where the graphic wraps around the face of the mug. It doesn't go around the handle. It's going to start right here, and it is going to end right here. This start point and this end point is right here, the start point and the end point. And then if you are holding the handle of the tumbler and you want to see the graphic centered left, that is this line right here. If you're holding the handle and you want to see the centered right, that is this line right here. This is the top of the tumbler, and this is the bottom of the print area of the tumbler. So essentially, the two most important parts of this entire template is this line and this line right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these two lines. I'm going to move down to the third page right here and paste them in. When we are creating our designs for the tumbler, I want to make sure that my design is centered around this line right here for this side of the tumbler, as well as centered around this line right here for this side of the tumbler, as I typically do double-sided tumblers. So at this point, I would now go through my entire market research process where I find the shops that I want to mirror, I create my master list, I create my design attribute list, and then I create my designs from scratch. I have a video going over this entire process, which I highly recommend you guys go and watch. But in this tutorial, I am going to be using our design super bundle, which I will link in the description below. So at the time of recording this tutorial, we are going into the summer months where people are traveling more, they're getting engaged, they're getting married. So those are the niches, the designs that are selling well on Etsy right now. So I went over to the design super bundle. I clicked onto Bachelorette. It's going to give me all of my Bachelorette templates into a Canva share URL where you can open it into your Canva account, where it will then open up all of our Bachelorette templates for this product type inside of your Canva account, where all you have to do is make the design unique and then you can sell it on Etsy. For this tutorial, let's go ahead and use this template right here. I'm gonna go ahead and select all of the design elements and then paste it into our canvas right here, as this is the template for the 40-ounce tumbler. I'm gonna go ahead and paste that in right here, where all we have to do is make the design unique. I'm gonna change the color from this burgundy color maybe to black. I'm going to change the name personalization from Miss Johnson to Miss Anderson. Let's go ahead and change the font from this one to, let's try this one. A more elegant font. And then let's go ahead and change the font for this one. And then lastly, establish 2025 to, let's change that to a 2026. Definitely the bare minimum in terms of making the design unique, but for the sake of the tutorial, I think this is good to go. I'm going to group all of this together, and then I need to center it vertically and center it to this black line right here. So I'm gonna make it smaller. Let's go ahead and center it that way and center it that way. I'm gonna make a copy of it and put it right here as well. Perfect. Next, we can go ahead and delete this black line right here and delete this black line right here. And then this is going to be our design for the 40-ounce tumbler. So now that we finished creating our design on Canva, we can now create the listing for this product on Etsy. All right, so I just signed into my Etsy account where we are now going to create our listing for our 40-ounce tumbler. We're going to click on to listings. It's going to take us to this page right here. In the top right, we'll click on to add a listing. From here, we're going to select a category. I'm going to type in tumbler. Tumblers. Click on to continue. This is going to be a physical product. Who made it? Another company or person, because Inner Circle Prints will be making the product. What is it? This is going to be a finished product. When was it made? This is print on demand, so it is made to order. And then next, we are going to enter in the production partner information here by clicking on to add production partner. Next, we need to create a production partner by giving it its name, Inner Circle Prints. You can either hide or show this information on the listing. I'm going to leave it checked for now. About this partner, it does say to keep it general. I'm going to type in a print on demand company. Keep it pretty vague. For the location, it is over in Spokane Valley, Washington. Click on to Spokane Valley, Washington here. Next, we need to talk about our partnership. Answer what is applicable to you. Why are you working with this partner? I'm going to select I don't have the technical ability. What is your role in the design process? I'm going to click on to I designed everything myself. What is the partner's role in the production process? For the production, they do everything for me. Click on to save. Now Inner Circle Prints is added as a production partner. Click on to done. Scroll back down. We have Inner Circle Prints selected as a company. I'm not sure why Etsy is giving me this error message right here as we have ICP selected here. I'm going to click on to continue. And now we are able to create our Etsy listing. Where at this point, I would normally optimize the Etsy listing, but that does go beyond the scope of this tutorial. If you want to see how I do my keyword research for my titles, my tags, I recommend that you go to my YouTube channel and watch this tutorial right here. And if you want to see how I do my listing images, I also recommend that you watch this tutorial right here. So I'm just going to plug in placeholder information here in order to create the Etsy listing. But again, this is where you would plug in your optimized title, your optimized images, your optimized tags at this step right here. So for the title, I'm going to type in custom bride tumbler. But again, your optimized title would go there. I'm going to upload a photo right here. But again, your optimized photos would go right here. For the description, I'm going to type in, again, custom bride tumbler. For personalization, this is a personalized product, so we are going to turn on add personalization, where you can add in your instructions to the buyer, add character limits right here. Going down to price and inventory, a very popular price right now for this product is $27.99 after a flash sale or after your sale. If you did a 50% off sale, which is what I personally did, this would be $55.98. After a 50% off sale, it brings it down to $27.99. For the quantity, this is print on demand, so let's go ahead and max this out at $9.99. For SKU, we do need to add a SKU for it to work with HelloCustom. So for SKUs, what I personally do with Inner Circle Prints is I do a letter for the product. This is a tumbler, so I do T001 for my first product. For the next one, it would be T002. Moving forward, if I was doing their ornaments, for example, I would do capital O001. Whatever naming convention that you want to do for the SKUs, you can do here, but you create the SKU for Inner Circle Prints. Scrolling down to variations, you can add your variations here. Skip past the details. Scrolling down to the tags, this is where you will upload your optimized tags right here. For the shipping, I'm going to click on to create option, where this is where we will create our shipping option for this product specifically. For the shipping price, you can either have Etsy calculate it for you, or you can enter in a manual number right here. If you do manual, Etsy recently came out with an update where if you do more than $5.99, they can suppress your listing. So being that this is a 40-ounce tumbler, it's big and it's heavy, it's definitely going to cost more than $5.99. So let's go ahead and click on to calculate for me. I'm going to plug in the zip code for our production partner here. For the processing time, I'm going to do 1 to 3 days. Scroll down. For the countries, we're just going to do North America. So click on to edit, unselect all countries, and it will just leave North America selected by default. Scroll down. You can save this as a shipping profile. I might do 40-ounce tumbler. and click on to save. So coming down to the item's weight and the item's size, this is where we can kind of play with the size and the weight of the product on what we want to charge our customer on Etsy. So if you remember on the previous step, we selected to have Etsy calculate the shipping for us. Etsy is going to calculate that shipping based off of this information right here. But Inner Circle Prints, your production partner, is not buying shipping from your Etsy account. They have their own ShipStation account that they're plugging in their true accurate information. So that allows us to almost game Etsy, let us tell Etsy what we want to tell Etsy to charge what we want to charge. So for example, if we plug in 1 pound, 12 by 5 by 5, come down to the preview shipping cost. If that is going to Los Angeles, that would be $7. If it's going all the way over to New York, that would be $8.71. Knowing that Inner Circle Prints is going to charge us $8.99 flat, we need to do more in terms of the weight. So if you play around with the length, this doesn't change the price. It's more of the weight. So when you go above a pound or below a pound, that's kind of when it goes from first class to priority. So I'm going to go 1.1 pounds. And then coming back down to preview shipping cost, if the tumbler is going to go over to Los Angeles, we are going to charge our customer $9.88. We will make $1 profit on the shipping here. If it goes all the way over to New York, we are going to make a little over $3 profit on the shipping going over to New York, as Inner Circle Prints is a flat $8.99. And click on to publish. And our listing is now active and ready to sell on Etsy. All right, so now that we finished creating our listing on Etsy, we can now go over to Inner Circle Prints to create the product. That when that product sells on Etsy, we want Inner Circle Prints to make and fulfill the product for us. So I just clicked over to our Inner Circle Prints account. I clicked onto catalog, and I'm now going to click onto the 40-ounce tumbler to create this product inside of our ICP account. I'm going to scroll down. Let's give the product a title. I'm going to do bride tumbler, and I might also add the SKU T001 in case I need to search it at a later time. That is number 1 of 5. Moving down to the second step, this says access your variations. We already grabbed this for our template when we created our Canva account. So we can now move down to number 3. This is where we are going to link our design. If you wanted to link it to your Canva design so you can manually personalize it, you can leave it as URL, plug in the Canva URL right here. But being that we are going to use HelloCustom to automate the personalization, we are going to toggle this over to image and upload a placeholder image right here by going back over to Canva. And we're going to download the PNG version of our template image by clicking on to share, download, PNG, transparent background, and just page number 3 download. Once downloaded, we can go back over to Inner Circle Prints and upload that image right here. All right, perfect. The graphic is uploaded right here. Moving down to step number 4, it says upload the graphic and create a thumbnail. So this is where you are able to create a thumbnail or upload your personal thumbnail right here. Being that we already created the product on Etsy and we already have our optimized listing images, so you can upload your thumbnail right here. Where that added the product right here for the thumbnail. Lastly, link product to a platform. We are going to link this product to our Etsy account using an Etsy listing ID. So I'm going to go back over to Etsy, click onto our product. In order to get the listing ID, I'm going to click onto the URL right here. And the listing ID is this last little code right here at the very end. I'm going to copy this, go back over to ICP, and paste it right here. I'm also going to add the SKUs for this product by clicking onto Add Etsy SKUs. And I am going to plug in the T001 as a SKU for this product. And for the graphic, this is a HelloCustom product. If you had multiple SKUs, maybe design variations, you can plug in the other SKUs right here. But we just had the one. I'm going to click on Link Product SKU. Next, I'm going to click on to Add to my products, where that product is now created and can be found underneath our products tab right here. That Inner Circle Prints now knows when that SKU sells on Etsy to come and create this product right here. All right, so at this point, we have created our design on Canva. We created the listing on Etsy for sale. We created the product on Inner Circle Prints for fulfillment. We are now going to create a template over on HelloCustom to automate the personalization for when that product sells. So to create a template for this product inside of HelloCustom, we will sign into our HelloCustom account, click on to templates, and click on to add template in the top right, where next we will upload a PDF of our complete design. And HelloCustom is going to take that PDF, convert it back into an editable template inside of HelloCustom to automate the personalization for when it sells. So to get the PDF file, we're going to go back over to Canva. and then we're going to download this as a PDF. Previously, we downloaded a PNG, but we need a PDF for HelloCustom. So we'll do that by going to the share in the top right, click on to download. The file type is going to be a PDF print. We're just going to download the page number 3. And then for the color profile, you can leave it as RGB and click on to download. All right, perfect. Once downloaded, we will go back over to HelloCustom and upload that file here. All right, perfect. As you can see, HelloCustom was able to take that PDF and convert it back into an editable template as if you created the design here to begin with, where to create a template to automate the personalization, you only really have to do a couple things. The first thing that we're going to do is give the template a title. This is for internal purposes only. I might do bride Tumbler T001. We'll match the title with our ICP account. Next, we need to tell HelloCustom what product on Etsy this template belongs to by clicking onto product variants, where HelloCustom will then pull in all of your Etsy products sorted by active, inactive, or draft, where you can then select the product right here and select the SKU. That when this SKU sells on Etsy, use this template right here. Click on to update. Lastly, we just need to tell HelloCustom what inside of the template needs to be personalized. So we have name elements right here, and we have date elements right here. So I'm gonna click on to this name element right here, and I'm gonna tag this as name. And then I also need to make sure that I tag this one as name as well. That when someone types in Miss Smith, I want HelloCustom to change both of these to Miss Smith. And then next, I'm going to tag this one as date. But as you can see, we do have some text with it. We have the dash, we have the est, and then we have the dash at the end. So we do have to add an instruction to tell the AI that if someone just types in 2027, to include the estimated at the beginning and the dash at the end. So I'm going to click onto this text element, click onto the tag, where I'm going to tag this one as date, but add an instruction. You can add instructions with these two brackets right here, where you can tell our AI what you want it to be inside of these brackets. If you want it to be a format, if you want to add text, if you want to add hearts between the names, this is where you can give instructions to our AI. But I'm going to go ahead and say add before the date and after the date. All right, perfect. So coming back over to this instruction, as you can see, I included the space right here. I want the dash space est space before the date. That way it includes the space. So include that before the date. And then I want a space dash after the date. That way it has the correct spacing. And click on to enter. Next, I'm going to tag this one the exact same by clicking onto this tag. That way they are both personalized the exact same. And that's it. So now that you've given it a title, you told HelloCustom what product it belongs to, you tag the elements for personalization. Being that this is a white product, you can leave the background as white, or you can make the background transparent and click on to publish as active. And just like that, the template is now published as active. HelloCustom now knows when that product sells on Etsy to personalize this template right here. One thing that I do recommend you doing at this step right here is to actually test the template to make sure everything is working correctly, that when this product sells on Etsy, you are 100% confident that the AI, the personalization is going to work 100% of the time. To test the template, if you hover over the template, you can click onto the three dots right here, click onto test template, where you will get the pop-up where you can test this template right here with a personalization input field right here, very similar to Etsy, where you can enter in sample personalization. For example, Steven 2027, click on to submit. And then HelloCustom is going to personalize the template and display a thumbnail of the personalized graphic here. As you can see, it changed the name to Steven on both sides and the established 2027 on both sides. Feel free to play with it. Feel free to make it as complicated as you can to make sure that the AI, make sure that the instructions that you gave the AI are working correctly. Can the name be Miss Phillips and the date be... All right, so for this one, I did a full sentence. Can the name be Miss Phillips and the date be established 2028? I included established here to see if the AI is going to include it twice, just to try to trick the AI, or is the AI smart enough to remove it if it's already a part of the template? Click on to submit. And nope, the AI is smart enough to know that established was part of the design and not to include it twice. Miss Phillips as the name, established 2028 on both sides. I am now confident when this product sells on Etsy, the AI, the tags, the instructions that I gave the AI is going to work correctly 100% of the time. All right, so now that we've created our template on HelloCustom, I'm now going to go over to Etsy. I'm going to purchase our test product. That way I can show you what to do when that product sells on Etsy. All right, so I just came over to our Etsy account, and let's say, for example, a customer came to your listing. Again, your listing would be optimized, and they entered in the following personalization request. Can the name be Miss Smith and the date be 2025? They add to cart and they purchase it. When this personalized product sells on Etsy, it is going to go to your Inner Circle Prints account as well as to your HelloCustom account. So within 15 to 30 minutes, if you sign into your Inner Circle Prints account, if you come over to your orders tab, you will see that order right here underneath your on hold tab. If you do not see it here, you are able to fetch the orders manually. It will then go over to Etsy and pull in all of your orders, again, underneath your on hold tab. Over on your HelloCustom account, we display this order on your approval queue, where we call these approval cards. We show the order, the customer, we show a thumbnail of the personalized graphics side by side with the Etsy order information, the product, the quantity, the variations, what the customer actually typed in, and if there is a note to seller. In this case, again, we typed in, can the name be Miss Smith? And the date be 2025. There was a note to seller. Can I get this by the 28th? HelloCustom took this order and personalized the following graphic. It changed the name to Miss Smith on both sides, the date to establish 2025 on both sides. All you have to do is come over to HelloCustom, click on to approve, and then HelloCustom is then going to go over to Inner Circle Prints automatically and update the order for you. So if you come over to your Inner Circle Prints account, I'm going to go ahead and refresh this page really quick. And then if you scroll down, as you can see, the graphic was added to this order underneath the finalized graphic. Miss Smith, established 2025, where all you have to do now is click on to approve order, and then this order will be sent over to production, manufactured, and shipped over to your customer. Again, this is the workflow right now, but we are working on a more intimate integration between HelloCustom and Inner Circle Prints, where here pretty soon, all you will have to do is create the product using our product editor. When an order is placed on Etsy, it will come into your HelloCustom account. All you have to do is click on approve and we will do everything else. No more back and forth, one platform, half the work. Well, that's it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below and I will see you in the next one.